You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Big Tips Texas After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Big Tips Texas After Show.
Get wild, let's party, get loud. If you wanna have fun and do something, if you wanna have fun and do something, get crazy, get wild, let's party, get loud. If you wanna have fun and do something, if you wanna have fun and do something. Walk in the club with no ID. Girls on my track 'cause I'm VIP.
Well, everybody, welcome to Redneck Heaven. This is Season 1, Episode 1 of the new MTV reality series. I'm Gabby Loren, your host for the night, and I'm joined by...
McKenzie, Fayne, and...
Scott Narver.
Yes, we brought Scott into the reality world.
We lured him in.
Yes, we took him away from wrestling to do this.
Yeah,
So, Scott, what'd you think?
I've been living a fake life, and now I'm in the reality of it all. I'm back. I'm back to normal. It was fun. I'm from Texas originally, so when you said it was a Texas show, I'm like, all right.
You probably had a different impression of it.
I did, yes. It was a fun show. I mean, we're going to get into it, but there was it's a crazy life. It's a way
really
crazy
is, yeah.
life. And unfairly treated, it seems like a lot of the time that these girls are amongst their family and amongst, even the people they're working with, that it's far more difficult than I ever would have thought it'd be.
Do you know anybody like that from Texas?
No, I don't. I don't have any more ties to Texas anymore, but I feel for these girls. I really do.
Interesting. What about you, Mackenzie? What do you think?
It is very, a lot of it's very heartfelt, and from watching the previews, you just think it was more of a Jersey Shore, like, fun party thing. But it was really, like, emotional, They were some of them were crying, and there's real deals in it. So, I mean, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, so I'm loving this show because of the drama. I'm all about any reality show that has that detail. I think it has the potential to last also on the channel.
Yeah.
What's interesting about this is we met a lot of characters. There are so many people involved in this show. Wouldn't you guys agree?
I know. I tried to write them all down, like Morgan, new girl, and the list went on and on, so I couldn't
Literally. It's kind of like really hard to keep up with. And Scott, I'm sure you're probably freaking out because you're so new to reality. You're probably like, what's this girl's name? Who is she? What does she do? But we met Morgan tonight, who's a new girl.
I loved her.
Yeah, she was like the talk of the town for this episode.
She was. I wonder if it's going to stay like that, honestly.
I don't know. I mean, and we know she has a weave.
Yes, which most of the girls have. All the new girls
The new
have
girls,
weaves.
that's the
Okay,
thing.
to be honest, like, I kind of want to weave now. Their hair looks so good.
I have to say, I use extensions too, and I'm a very big advocate for them. Because,
You are?
Yeah, they're easy. I don't like the ones that you actually have to get put in and pay for
No,
astronomical
they were
amounts.
clipping them, right?
Yeah, the
clip-ons.
clip-ins, the ones you can take out because they don't damage your hair, and it's a better price. Plus, if you want your hair longer or thicker, it's magic.
Okay, yeah. I'll have
Yeah.
to look into that.
Yeah,
As
it's
the
good
new guy,
stuff.
I'm wearing a beard weave. This is not like it's just stubble. These are all weaved in.
That's
So
all
for the men
real.
out there,
Yeah.
we have some beard weaves over here.
Guys, don't feel left out.
Right, right. And so some of the other girls that have weaves and new girls, we have Kristen, Jillian's a new girl, and Macy is a new girl. We have Amber the veteran, who strikes up a lot of controversy with our good girl Morgan. And then Tiffany's the manager, and her boyfriend owns the bar.
Tinkerbell.
Yes, Tinker. Then we have, who is it? Is Nancy? Did I say that? Oh no, it's Macy probably. I
Yeah,
don't know if there's
Macy.
a
Yeah, Macy.
Nancy, I said that. Okay. Claire is a veteran, and then we have Sabrina, who is also a veteran. I don't know if we met anybody else, but that's all the girls I got.
Yeah, those are the ones I got too. But I got confused with was Sabrina a veteran or a new girl? Because she was hanging out with the new girl.
Sabrina is a new girl.
Okay. All right.
I
Just had to
believe.
make that clear.
Yes. So let's get into our first topic.
Let's see.
We're gonna go into Amber versus Morgan because that's what this whole episode was pretty much
Whole
about.
thing, yeah. It was big.
Yeah, and there's a lot of controversy because one's a veteran, one's a newbie, and one thinks the other girl has attitude and isn't respecting, and the other girl doesn't think she isn't clean.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of drama between these two girls. Who are you guys siding with? Is the drama, is there a purpose to it, or do you think that it's just, I don't know, ridiculous?
I think, this is my take on it, because, okay, I'm kind of fresh out of high school, you could say. So I'm, like, known to this kind of drama stuff. I've been around it.
Okay.
And so I think Morgan is gorgeous. Like, I don't know why, I just thought she was. And I think, Amber is very jealous of this new girl, like, pretty, can come take her place, because Amber is really high up there. They say she's the best table tender and all this stuff, and she sees that Morgan can come in here and take her place. That's what I think it is, honestly. And that's how it is with, like, girls these days.
I agree. I think she definitely feels threatened by Morgan.
Definitely.
Morgan is gorgeous, so is Tiffany. That's probably why Tiffany is with Tinker. Not only that, but she is smart. I agree with her. She really knows what she's doing by running the girls. But I definitely think she is threatened. She feels threatened by her. Plus, I don't agree with the fact that Morgan is kind of stepping up to Amber and giving her a little bit of a toot, because this girl has been there for a while. You need to be pleasant to work around. Otherwise, you're going to get the boot and you're not going to be working there anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, there is like Tiffany got into a little bit, there is that boundary that she needs to stay in, and she's really not. But at the same time, the generation has changed where we don't really know, like, that kind of thing, like where to stay in between rules and like those kind of things. So I just think she's young and she doesn't really know, which is fine too. But I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah, she does need to.
So we saw them at the stockyards and the whole group was pretty much there.
Yes.
Right? So now it seemed to me that Amber was kind of starting with Morgan. Like, Morgan, I feel like she doesn't want to have confrontation as much, especially when she's trying to enjoy herself after watching, the Bulls and all that stuff. But it seemed to me like she was getting kind of that attitude first. And then Morgan went back, because Morgan wasn't going to sit there and, be quiet the entire time. She's going to stand up for herself because she has that, like, sassy little attitude.
Yeah.
So rightfully so, she said something back to Amber, and then they got into a little physical confrontation, and then one of the girls was kicked out.
Amber.
Yeah, Amber was kicked out. And
Yeah.
I think there's a reason why Amber was kicked out. And she was trying to claim the next day with Tiffany that dirty looks were thrown at her, but that was never shown to us.
Yeah, we
on the
didn't see
camera.
that at all. I mean, she did get taken out of the club, and Tiffany was, the mature one, and out there saying you need to stop, like, yelling and everything. I just thought it was so funny. She's like, Amber's yelling, and Tiffany's like, she can't hear you. Like, why do you keep talking?
And she's the height of the bouncer.
Yeah.
She's big. She's a tall lady. Like, and that was part of when they're coming to not blows, but they're getting in each other's faces. Amber's huge. And Amber's showing in this whole case, like, she's being pretty volatile.
I mean,
all of it.
Amber called herself the Jolly Green Giant.
Yeah.
She literally called herself that. Do you think if Morgan and Amber got in a fight, Scott, that who do you think would win?
Who do I think would win? I would say Morgan would, because I think Amber would be too cocky. I think Amber would just be so sure of herself, and I think much like where they're at with their jobs, Morgan wants it more.
Yeah. I think so too, but I don't know honestly, I don't know who would win, because you have to know, like, I don't know, Morgan could be nuts, like, if she gets, and Amber could too, so I don't really know.
I can see Morgan kicking booty on Amber, because I feel like in their situation at this bar, they had the opportunity to get into a serious fight and get some bruises, and that didn't happen. And being that Amber's the bigger person, taller, she definitely could have done damage, but she didn't do anything. So that to me means that she's scared.
Especially when they were in the bar and we saw Morgan finally went up to Amber and yelled in her face, and then Morgan walked away, and Amber just like kept talking. You know, she didn't really grab her hair like she said she was going to. She didn't do any of that stuff. So I definitely think that too. I mean,
She talks big.
She talks a
She
lot.
talks as big as she is.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's where it stops.
But let's talk more action because that's what I want to see.
Well, I mean, the recap or the shows from the season on seemed like there's going to be a lot of interesting things.
Oh,
so.
definitely. Do you guys think that if you're a veteran, though, at this bar, that you shouldn't have to clean dishes and do all that other bar stuff?
If it affects what you're supposed to be doing, if you're the veteran and you need to be in front of the customers and you need to be selling these drinks and keep interacting with everybody, and that just impedes it, like that gets in the way, then yeah, you shouldn't be doing that stuff. Because you are the veteran, because you've earned that status, because the customers that know you, that kept being dropped every so often. It's like, yeah, I know these guys, and yeah, I know these guys, and here, get to know Macy or get to know this new girl, because then they get to know the customers and clientele, and then they're in front of them all the time.
Yeah, I understand that there's a hierarchy in most jobs, so I get it, the veteran thing, but at the same time, don't be so proud of yourself and think that you are entitled to not do things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you come in with that attitude, it kind of changes my perspective on how I feel about you. But if you just do what you're supposed to do based on the rules, great, fine. But don't tell me and come out and say, like, I don't need to do this because of my status.
Yeah,
No
it's your
thank
job.
you.
With that
If you can
attitude.
do it, do it.
There you go, Phil. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been a fan of the, higher level people. Like, even in sports and all those things, like, oh, the fresh meat gets the bags and the med box and all those things. I never, when I was a senior, I never did that to the freshmen because I was like, I don't care.
That's
because
because you're a nice girl, Mackenzie.
I know, but still,
But
I
you made
feel
me
like
do a minnow bomb when I showed up. So
wasn't
unfair.
that terrible? That should have been like a topic of the whole thing because that was so bad. Would you guys ever do that?
No.
Do that to someone, or
What would you say?
I
you
would
say,
never
no, I quit?
do it. I would just not do it because they're not going to fire me over not eating a fish.
Yeah, Tiffany wouldn't
Right?
do that.
And
no.
that's what Amber did. Like, that's another sign of what Amber would do. Like, Amber would make someone do a shot with a minnow in it.
Which, you know what? It's cool if it was college. I mean, I would never do it, but she's just being that, like, older sorority sister type. I don't agree with doing it. I would never do that to somebody else if I was her. But I don't think it's that harmful. It's
Well,
all
other
in good
people were
fun.
doing it. Like, you saw the guys doing it.
Yeah.
So it was a shot they do there.
Right.
But
it's
I-
pretty redneck. I would agree.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, wouldn't you guys think so? It's redneck, right, Scott?
I don't associate fish with redneck so much. Like,
I do.
You don't?
'Cause then I think of
No.
fishing.
I would.
Well, I mean, like fish like that, like minnows or something like that. I would sooner associate barbecue or something like that, doing something.
Mud and getting down and dirty.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. You know, the bull riding and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I don't think minnow shots.
Well, you guys at home comment and let us know if you think that minnow shots are redneck because we'd love to hear. And speaking of commenting, go on our iTunes. Let us know what you think about this show on MTV, if it's going to last, what you predict for the future, because we want to hear about everything and maybe we'll talk about it on the show. While you're there, check out Serial Buddies because you can download it now on iTunes. That is a comedy produced by Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos. Also, our exec producer, Phil Svitek, is on that as well. Really funny movie, you guys. So if you haven't seen it yet, even though we've been talking about it on pretty much every AfterBuzz after show, go check it out. Now is your opportunity, especially if you're up watching this show. I'm sure you're going to be up for a while. So
Yeah.
And everyone
go do that.
Get a movie at your leisure. It's right there to download.
Right, exactly. So you guys, the people on the show are insane characters. I mean, it's raunchy, and I don't know what other word I can use to describe it.
wild.
But we have girls like Sabrina who want to make a better life for themselves.
I know.
And maybe get into marketing since she went to school for it. So she's inquiring about the position. And she actually brings it at first to the attention of Tiffany when she gets in trouble at the bar for overstepping her boundaries while trying to serve a man his drink.
Yeah.
A table of
table.
people that don't have any drinks.
Which I agreed with her. I don't understand why she couldn't get that drink for the or the drinks for the table, because nobody wants to leave the consumers or customers waiting. It's not really etiquette, good bar etiquette,
Yeah.
if etiquette's even
No,
involved.
yeah.
It's good.
I
It's not
think-
good customer service.
It's not good customer service.
and she's
No.
telling them like, I need drinks for my table, and they're saying you need to wait. No, it's not her that
Yeah.
needs to wait. You're saying the customers need to wait. They don't need to wait. They need their drinks.
I guess if you're in, like, you know, thinking about the seniority thing, I understand that. But when it's the night of and you guys are working and you're out behind the bar, like, that shouldn't matter. Whoever needs their drinks, like, you say whatever you want, but you have your beef after. I feel like that's how it should be. And it's not really like that. Like, Amber is still at it with the, you know, with just being so forward with everything.
Right, and I think Tiffany's kind of siding with Amber in this situation
I don't
because
know
she's
why
the veteran, and I don't agree with how Tiffany reprimanded. So it was Sabrina, right? Oh no,
It was Kristen.
Kristen at the
Kristen,
table.
yeah.
I don't agree with. Sorry, I went from Sabrina to Kristen. That's really weird. But
It was kind of confusing.
both of them are trying to make better lives for themselves because Kristen wants to go to Harvard, right?
Sabrina.
Sabrina does. Oh my God, I'm so
Yeah, Sabrina wants
Sabrina
to
went
go to
to her-
Harvard.
And Kristen wants the marketing position.
Yes.
So they're
Yes.
both trying to make better lives for themselves. Well, I don't agree with how Kristen
Yeah.
was reprimanded by Tiffany in the bar because rightfully so, that customer should be treated well. And you either have a customer walk out really unhappy
Yeah.
or you serve them and make them satisfied.
Yeah, because I think if Tiffany, the manager, had seen what was going on without Kristen being there, she would have had the reaction of like, well, you need to have your drinks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then probably would have reprimanded Kristen for where are their drinks. And then it's out of my hands. Like, I'm trying to get them.
Right.
But she saw what was going on and didn't like it.
I think for the most part, though, Tiffany does a really good job with handling those girls. With, you know, she took both of Morgan and Amber in after their little fight and, you know, sat down with them and was really just mature. I want to know how old they are. I don't know if that's weird.
That's what I was thinking
Like-
too watching the show. I really wonder how old these girls are. And they did play a theme song and it was like 30s, but I feel like I'm in my 20s, something like that in the very beginning. And I'm like, oh my God, are these girls in their 20s? I mean, 30s?
They can't be.
That'd be
They
crazy.
don't look like
Who's
that.
the oldest one?
I think-
Guess.
Oldest.
I'm going to go with Amber.
Let's take a guess and see who's right by next episode.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I guess Amber.
You guess Amber.
What is it?
Oh, how old is she?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 35.
Okay.
No way.
Wow, that's high.
That
I know,
is
that's what I'm
high.
guessing.
She's
All
gonna
right.
cry if you're wrong and she's,
She's
like
going to
25.
beat me up.
But she looks
That's-
good. Come on, she
Yeah.
does. She could pass as like 21.
Yeah.
What about
But-
you, Mackenzie?
All right, I think. I definitely think that Morgan's one of the youngest, but that's besides the point. I have to say Tiffany. I think
Okay.
Is how old?
28.
Okay, I could go with that. I'm gonna guess Amber is 29.
All right.
And I would say Tiffany's around that age too. But,
Yeah, I feel like they're kind of around the same age.
but I mean, they're veterans, so they probably are a little older. They turned 21 before.
That's right.
Yeah.
Big deals over here.
So, anyways, Kristen wants that marketing position. She went and talked to Tiffany about it. But I thought it was funny because towards the end of the episode, Tiffany acted like she never came to her at first. Because when she was being reprimanded, she mentioned, I don't want to do this anymore. It's taking a toll on me. I want to apply for that marketing position.
Where I'm qualified.
Right.
I have education in it. I have training in it. And I want to do this.
So you think that was her going to Tiffany?
That was her first attempt at going to Tiffany.
But remember when she said no, like you know, you're not looking like you can do the position now. You need to show me you can. I don't think Tiffany took that, and I don't think I would have taken that as like she's coming to me and she said, you need to do it when you're in my office. Be, you know, respectful about it. Be mature about it. Come to me in my office and ask me about the job. You know. And then she went to Tinker about it, which
Right.
was just I understood where Tiffany was coming from with that, but
That one I didn't. That one didn't make any sense to me because the way she kept referring to it, that Tiffany would say it is, you're being unprofessional by going and talking to my boyfriend above me. When she used the word boyfriend, when it's no, she's being professional because she went and talked to the owner.
yeah, I did.
The boyfriend
Which
status
she
is out
she
the window
actually
at that
said,
point.
Kristen actually said the owner
Yeah.
in the way she approached it.
Because that's what you would do. You would go plant as many seeds saying like, yeah, I want this position. What do I need to do? You would go tell the owner of the company. You would go tell the manager. You would tell all these people.
I don't know, but it didn't cross your mind when she was in his office, like, oh my God, like, does Tiffany know she's there? What is she going to say when she finds out? Like, I found it a little bit sketchy to me.
So in that sense, Mackenzie, I can agree with you. However, it wasn't the first attempt, but I agree. I think that she should have, knowing that these girls are drama filled, and once you learn your lesson, you figure it out. But you should go to Tiffany and mention, can I go speak to Tinker? I think I'm going to speak to Tinker. Just wanted to run it by you.
Yeah.
Because it's always good to let that person know, especially being that it's more than just a business relationship, since it is, personal as well for Tiffany.
They're going steady.
I think that's why it kind of offends her a little, because it is her boyfriend. It does offend her because although it's professional, it's like you're going to my boyfriend as well. And I understand what you're saying, Scott. You shouldn't bring that up in the conversation, but inside of her mind, that's what's going through her head.
Which is not professional.
Right. But, is love and business professional either? Probably not. The smartest thing.
And she even said, everybody thinks that I come here and sleep with,
Right.
or slept my way up or whatever it was.
She had a few. Drinks
Definitely.
that night. Like,
Definitely.
it was
A
not
few
a good time
what?
for...
Men or drinks? Where are you going with
Was
that?
it weird that Tinker, after the birthday cake was given and he blew out the candles, that he kissed her on the forehead?
Yes.
And not on the lips?
Yes. I completely forgot about that. But yes.
That was so weird.
It was weird. And it wasn't even like honey, I love you, middle of the forehead kiss. It was
job.
a little daughter, girl,
Yeah.
baby thing. Like,
You guys, that's endearing.
I didn't.
I find it sweet. It's a sweet gesture.
So would a kiss on the lips for throwing this whole party, and if he loves her, like that kiss.
Yeah, he said this is the best. What did he say? This is the best party, and then give your girlfriend a kiss.
Yeah, and there you go.
Well, maybe he doesn't like PDA. Who knows? But then he's working in the wrong industry because that's his bar, right? Redneck Heaven. It's all about PDA.
And he's got topless girls on his
Yeah,
boat.
nakedness.
That's what I was gonna say too, though. Tiffany must be somewhat, insecure about all these girls around them. And I was also gonna say that about Chance, Morgan's boyfriend. He's like, I'm so proud of you and all this stuff. And I'm just thinking, what does he think about his girlfriend work? I don't think my boyfriend would like it.
Right.
At all.
And on the other hand, then you have a girl like Sabrina, right, where her family hates that she's working in a place like this. Kristen?
Yeah. Sabrina's the one with the mom.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that's why she's applying for the marketing job.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I'm so confused because there's 20 girls
No,
There
involved.
were so many
it
characters.
is really,
Yeah,
really
you
confusing.
guys, I promise we will get all the names straight on the next few episodes. But, yeah, so that's another reason why, Kristen's mom deleted her off Facebook. She doesn't want to see those pictures and stuff, which I understand because if I ever did that stuff, my mom would be so angry with me.
Oh,
I would
my
never
mom
do
too.
pictures, though.
Well, as a
Be the
guy,
worst.
is it
I'd have
not
to
a
do
double
so many
standard?
sit-ups in order to get in there.
I'm
There's
sure
no
if you
way.
started stripping, your mom would be pissed.
I'm surprised at how many guys.
What's the question about double standard?
Yeah, double standard. Would your mom care if you joined, started showing a little skin on Facebook?
I think she'd be very confused, number one, and then I think she'd be worried about the lifestyle. Not so much what I'm doing, but what goes along with it. Am I doing drugs? Am I doing all these other things?
Yeah.
That's what it would sooner be, rather than, well,
Oh, God.
I guess you got in shape, or you're just really not ashamed anymore, so, all right.
Yeah.
She also doesn't use Facebook, so she would have no idea.
Yeah, as a girl, I think my mom would probably think it's a lifestyle issue, too. She'd probably be like, you're on drugs. What's wrong with you?
I think my mom would know that I'm not on drugs or anything. She would just say, is that the kind of girl you want to be? Is that what you want to portray for yourself?
Right.
Literally her words. That's what she would say.
Well, you're telling us your mom has the best advice.
Oh,
So
yeah, I
what-
did tell you guys that.
So what would be the best advice for, how about Amber?
What
at
my
this
mom
point?
would say?
Yeah, what
Oh,
would your
God.
mom say to
Too
Amber?
bad it's 3 o'clock in the morning and she can't call in. But she'll watch this tomorrow morning. What would she say about Amber? What do you mean about her?
She's getting drunk all the time, causing fights, taking her clothes off. doing
Well,
stuff
my
like that.
dad, if my dad would just scream and I would never leave my room if I was her. But I think my mom is more she'll talk to you and be like, is that really what you want to do, and guilt trip you into being oh my God, I'm a terrible person, So she would just do that. And
Okay.
Amber, are you an alcoholic? Do we need to send you to rehab?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. She's awesome, though. I do like her. She's fun. She brings life to the show.
She is fun.
She
She's
is.
definitely fun.
Yeah.
You need an instigator.
But she is one of those people that I would never want to be on her bad side because she's one of those people, like, remember on the boat when she was like, yeah, let's party, and like they had the new girls on the other side, they had known that they were talking about them, so it's, you know, those like annoying people
that are just loud and you always hear what they
and they're only doing
Yeah,
it
you always hear
because
them.
you know what I mean, like they're only doing it just to,
for
like,
for show. They
Yeah.
want to get that reaction
Yeah,
out of you.
They're
And you're,
talking near you, and they know you can hear them, and
Yeah.
just to get a rise out of everybody, or to be cool, or
Right, and she does that purposely.
exactly.
Plus, I'm sure the cameras enhance that behavior a little bit.
yeah.
You know,
definitely.
more camera time there, girlfriend. You get it. But so I mean, a lot of these girls are living crazy lifestyles, and some of them may not last that long in this industry, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
In the bartending industry. So Sabrina, her family was her mom was in a gang. That's what we learned tonight on the first episode. Wow, way to bring it in, MTV.
That was nuts. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So she has some. I mean, but her mom looks like she's on the right track now, kind of. I don't agree with her parenting as much.
No.
Just saying college is a waste of
Yeah,
time.
that broke
Expletive
my
deleted,
heart.
expletive deleted. Like, yeah, she's
Yeah.
not.
That was terrible.
I was honestly very upset about that because this girl is obviously smart. She's up for
Yeah.
Harvard, she's saying.
Yeah.
So, like, that's where she
Harvard
wants
Law.
to go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So she could really make a good life for herself, and her mom's discouraging it. She's like, $35,000 a year. Ugh, like we can't do that. She's like, and then I need you as my deductible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need you as my deductible, and the rest of the family is saying we need you here to make money to make sure that we're all fine.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a
Yes.
lot of pressure.
She's the only one, it seemed like, that really wanted something for herself, which is sad.
It would
And
be
then-
nice if, like, one of her family members, like a sibling, could take over for a little while. She can get her law degree and then really give back because, I mean, lawyers make tons of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, the payoff is
Yeah.
so much better in the long run.
Exactly.
But I have to give her props, though, because she really sat there and just kind of took it. And then she left and was like, F this, whatever. But it was respectful. And I liked her. I did.
Yeah.
She
It
was
broke my
cute.
heart, though, when she started crying because
I
she's
know.
like, I just want a family that supports what I'm doing and what I want to do. And I think a lot of us can probably relate to that, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And just being
definitely.
in entertainment, like what we're doing here in LA, it's really hard. I mean, most people want their kids to have conventional jobs that, you know, most people have to make money, but we chose the road less traveled, or most traveled, but
We chose.
in LA.
We didn't choose steady. We chose like, well,
did.
that job's boring. I want to be unemployed again now to
Yep.
find the new job.
Yep, we took a risk, you guys.
Yeah.
We did.
And
Rolled the
so
dice.
did they.
Power.
Yeah, so hopefully, I mean, we'll see what plays out with her. Do you guys think that Sabrina will last, or do you think she's going to move on and go to bigger and better things?
She seemed pretty, set in her ways. She was like, well, this is what I'm going to do. That's the decision, and it's made. So, I don't know.
Her mom, she came from a gang, so toughness is instilled in her. I think
Right.
she's going to go after what she's going to go after, but still
That's
be
a good point.
respectful at the same time, and just try and convince them that this is for the best, and still try and take care of them as much as she can. That's what I imagine is going to happen.
I'm thinking Sabrina is going
We'll get
to.
a whole chart in here with faces. and
Literally.
who's connected to who.
Yeah, right.
They're probably all related. Come on, it's the South. No, I'm just kidding. Sabrina, I'm thinking she will probably hold it out at the bar until she sees how season 1 does with MTV, because you could be the next, Snooki or JWoww working there for this show. So
Paycheck upon paycheck.
yeah, maybe she's just gonna wait it out. I'm sure she's getting a little something from MTV for this season.
Maybe the mom will get a show out of this. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. TLC could probably call her.
Honey
next.
Boo Boo was just on,
Yeah. Yeah.
Tatas and Tiaras.
So I mean, it could be like a good investment for them to wait it out.
Yeah.
How
this.
fun was the boat thing, though? The whole little trip.
Party Cove. Oh, I've always wanted to do something that
I
crazy.
have. My friend Megan,
have?
her boyfriend, has a boat, and we go out on the boat on the East Coast, and it's so fun because we went to the spot one time, and you just like park your boat, I guess, and then like you pay somebody to come out and get you, and you go into the shore, but also you could like stay out on the boats and just party, and people are just around, they blast their music, and it's so much fun.
Do you guys have to find like a boat driver though? Obviously, it's not drinking. Is it usually like a friend that doesn't drink, or? Somebody
No,
that just volunteered.
they kind of all drink.
Really? Oh my god, you can get a ticket for that.
Yeah, I think you can, but
So it's tailgating in the sea.
yes, it is.
It's like
That's exactly what it
you
is.
know you get DUIs like in the water too.
Yeah.
Though, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
but
pretty
they,
serious.
I mean, they drink, but they don't while they're driving, and then they'll drive back.
Yeah, that's craziness. I mean, I'm from the
But
East
no-
Coast too, and I've been on boats before. I haven't done like a party like that, but we've had, we've definitely had drinks on the boat and partied in our own little thing. But
Yeah, well, no, nobody gets like. I mean, I would get like seasick, honestly, because I don't know why I do, but I don't know. It's fun though. I liked it.
So speaking of the Party Cove boat extravaganza, the girls were separated. The veterans and the newbies were completely not socializing at all.
I know.
Yeah, they stuck the new girls on the front of the boat, and
Yeah.
then all the veterans were then shaded in the top, not canopy area, but just like the little top of the boat,
Right.
where it looked nice and relaxed. But yeah, they were not mingling at all.
Right.
Amber's top came off. And
Yeah, and they're
Then the
calling her
party-
sexy kitty.
Sexy.
Well, hold on,
Oh,
it didn't
my
come
goodness.
off. It was removed by a guy
Oh,
that
yeah.
she wanted him to remove
Yeah.
it.
And then she
that
jumped
was
into the
planned.
water, and the party started then. So
She jumped into the water on
On the-
top of a guy.
Yes.
Three
Naked.
guys.
That was wearing a life vest. So he
Yeah.
was wearing a top of all things.
I know, right?
Jeez. I mean, oh God, that's pretty serious.
All right,
that you
she's
could
not
just do that and be
30.
that comfortable.
She's not 35. She's 30. I'm saying she's 30 now.
Okay,
now
really?
reflecting on that, yes.
Now
Oh,
that
because you're
we're-
thinking at 35, she'd be a little more, reserved and mature at that point.
Yeah, she's not gonna jump on a guy anymore. She's like, I've done that.
All right, well, I think you're going to take down the age when we bring this back up, because I think you guys might have forgotten when she took off her thong and then put it back on.
At the
in the
party.
party. Oh my God.
At Tinker's birthday.
That was so crazy.
Yeah, she left her underwear on the floor, and then went up the stairs and called attention to not looking at what everyone could see.
You could see that guy's face in the front. He was like, oh my God. Like,
Why
where's
was
she
her
going?
underwear off in the first place?
I don't even know. I couldn't even recall that part.
I don't think there was an explanation. I think it was just like, well, these are bothersome, and then just off with those.
And then, wait, I'm getting a little cold and a draft over here. I'm going to put them back on.
And she was really proud of herself when she did it, too.
She walked up the stairs. She was like, just don't look, because hey, ladies. Like, she really drew attention to herself, too.
Yeah, and then they had to, put a little sensor over that so we didn't see her, cooch.
Oh, just like,
They compensated. It wasn't a little censor. They just made sure they're like, well, we're good.
Yeah.
With that.
Let's just black out her whole body. Just
Yeah.
kidding. Because that's probably how she's going to feel the next day. Like, she blacked out.
I know. How would you guys feel? She was obviously drunk in some points, How would you feel?
At some point, I think the majority of the
Okay,
show.
okay, I'll give that to you. But how would you feel if you watched yourself? Do you think she's fine with herself?
If my lady parts were hanging out, how do I feel about that upon reflection?
Yeah, I guess that's the question.
If she's living the lifestyle and she's having fun and feels good about it, that's one thing, but I wouldn't be able to do that.
I know.
Would you ever date a girl like this, Scott?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Well, you act as though I have a say in it. I suppose I would, depending on who the person is. Like, if that's all
Wow.
I knew of her, then, no, because I don't get to know her. But if she's a really awesome person but does something outlandish like that, and she's great and there's other aspects to her, then if it's not uncomfortable for me, or if it is, I try and talk to her about it.
Okay, so if you were at Tinker's birthday party, Scott,
Okay.
and you saw Amber remove her thong and then pick it back up and place it back on, and you saw everything, would you be like, I want to make that my girlfriend?
No, I don't think she talked to me that night, and that wouldn't be the first thing that I go, boy, she's great.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
hates underwear and then likes it. No, that wouldn't be.
She's just very confused. I don't know what's going on.
I'd hopefully sooner, and oh boy, the name, Kristen,
Yeah.
the one who's going for the
Marketing job, yeah.
Like, that is someone who's more appealing, that under the circumstances, like, yeah, I was trying for a job and I was upset. Like, that's the person I would sooner want to talk to, because she's got a good head on her shoulders. And she's misunderstood, which is a shame.
I really loved Tiffany throughout the whole show until the end. I felt like she was just very emotionally not there, kind of.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, or maybe that's not even a good way to put it. But she just
mixes too much emotion into her business life
Yeah.
and attitude.
Because she's been judged so much before, knowing that the girls talk behind her back and saying, yeah, you slept your way to the top. Like, she's carrying that with her.
But she should never say that. Like, being a professional, why would you even bring that up? She was lecturing some of the other veterans, be the bigger person. They're going to talk about you behind your back, but just
Exactly.
don't get into it. But yet she's doing that at Tinker's birthday party. So I don't know. I think maybe with the alcohol probably didn't help, but she is not as professional as she plays herself to be.
Yeah, she should know in those moments that it's like, look, you talk to Tinker. This is something we need to talk about at another time. Like, please come to my office so we can hash this out.
Yeah, and that's it. That's all you need to say.
But that's not good entertainment right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But McKenzie, I agree with you in the sense, in real world scenario, like, I completely agree with you. And I don't know, I think that Tiffany was awesome in the beginning, but she lost me in the end because of how she was acting. But I have to say, like, I love this show. I think it has a lot of potential to last, regardless of weaves or not, because I'm a fan of them. And honestly, the only girls that really knew how to do their makeup, I have to say, was Tiffany and Morgan. They're like the prettiest girls on the show.
Yeah,
Tiffany
they
and
are.
Morgan. But regardless, I love them all. They're all blessed in a glass, Jersey Shore style.
Morgan's grandma was also awesome.
Yeah, she was.
Yes.
Wait.
Was it
Morgan's?
Morgan though?
No, it
Isn't
was
it?
Sabrina's.
Is this
No, it was Kristen's.
Kristen's.
Because
Oh, man.
the Facebook thing. Yeah,
Yeah, the
it's
Yes.
confusing.
Yeah, you're right.
You guys,
We'll
see
get
how
it.
hard it is?
It is hard.
Grandma was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, she was cool because
She was cool.
she was the most down-to-earth person that there was. Just talking straight, a straight shooter.
You know, we haven't said yet, and I don't want to leave without saying because it was kind of a big thing when they were at the rodeo, and
Right.
Morgan got so upset by just watching, because she wants to
Yeah.
do it so bad. But I really want to see more of her boyfriend. He's so cute and nice.
Oh, yeah. No.
He was like, "Look at me, you're gonna do it, babe. Like, look at me." And he was so comforting.
Very
yeah,
supportive.
the boyfriend's a very supportive boyfriend,
liked
and
him.
it's good to have somebody like that in your life. Maybe that's why she's a little more grounded, but at the same time, I don't know why she freaked out watching the
That was
bull
weird.
racing and stuff. Because the
There's
thing is,
probably
yeah,
something leading up to that we didn't see.
yeah, or maybe we'll
Hopefully
see it
it's
in
not just-
future episodes. Like, I don't know, but I think that if you want to do something, great. But she's obviously probably pretty young. She's trying to make money right now, and then maybe do the school thing. I don't know, but that's with more time and practice, it will come. I mean, her family owns a ranch. I'm sure when she saves enough money, she'll get that bull.
Yeah.
Don't
But-
forget what happened to her goat, too. Very traumatic.
Oh, he got raped by
Oh,
the
yeah.
neighbor's goat. That was
A
so
second
funny.
time.
The goat Penelope, right?
She's a slut. She goes, "She's just a slut."
Yeah.
What'd she say?
Yeah, so this show's all around interesting. The only thing I wish that they did differently is that maybe they didn't show us 80 scenes in one episode.
Yeah.
Stick to 3 scenes and maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2 topics.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt very all over the place tonight.
It's overwhelming to take
It's
all that in
overwhelming,
on
Because
the
yeah.
I
first
forgot
episode.
about the whole rodeo thing. We skipped right over that, and then I just had remembered. But that was a random scene too.
Yeah, there's just a lot of bars, rodeos, different nights where they're working, then family life. It was just a lot of information
Yeah,
to
it
take in for the
definitely
first episode of
Mm-hmm.
this new show. Literally, my notes are all over the place. I'm like, what's going on? But it was great. Let's get into predictions. I want to hear what you guys think about future episodes and stuff like that.
Okay.
So play me that music.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Oh, I like that. That little voice. All right, Scott, let's go.
Predictions. All right. I think I'm going to try and get the names right again because this is tough. So Amber and Morgan. Amber and Morgan.
Yeah.
That they're really going to talk it out and they will cry together and they will come to an understanding. That they will, because it seems like all their interactions, they don't look at each other. They pass by each other
Yeah.
and talk past them. So once they actually, if they get sat in a room and just deal with each other and hear each other's stories and hear what's going on in their lives, they will find an understanding between the two of them. They can't hate each other. I don't believe that they can. So I think that'll happen.
What about you, McKenzie?
I think. Well, I'm really excited because you saw at the end the new girl walk in, the new girl.
Right.
So
Fresh meat.
I think she's gonna come in, and I kind of feel like she's gonna quit because everybody's gonna be so mean to her because now there's so many of them, and then the new girls are like, whatever. But with the Amber and Morgan thing, I kind of think the complete opposite. I think the show is gonna be based around them and how much they hate each other.
I think that Tiffany is forcing them to kind of reconcile. However, if that ever goes down, like Scott's saying, I do not think it's going to last. I think it's going to be for the time being, and then they're going to get into it again about something else.
I think Morgan could do it. I don't think Amber could do it. I think she's
As in
too,
makeup?
Yeah, like yeah.
I don't know. I don't think the girls don't like each other, so I don't know. I don't see any of them willing to last. Because if one girl does something that's not so nice, the other girl's gonna freak out. It's gonna go back and forth like volleyball.
Yeah, I just don't
know.
think Morgan has much of a reason to hate her, but Amber has all the more reason. I feel like.
Right.
So I don't know.
So based on what we saw coming up, I'm really excited. I kind of feel like I'm watching an episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey or something, because we see them all at a dinner and objects being thrown. Reminds me of like Teresa Giudice or Giudice, however you say her name, from Housewives. So I'm really excited to see that. I think it's going to be a really awesome and entertaining episode. Also, we see them get down and dirty like their redneck selves in mud.
I love
and
it.
that's going to bring out their, roots and the Texas, redneck side of them. So I'm excited to see the cultural aspects of where they live and who they are and kind of get more into their storylines of where they come from, their families, and definitely meet this new girl because, it's always exciting when they bring somebody else in and kind of initiate them into their bartending society at Redneck Heaven.
Oh yes, Redneck Heaven.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like I said, this was the first episode, and it was Welcome to Redneck Heaven from Big Tips, Texas. Hopefully these girls are making big tips because those short shorts are definitely applause-worthy. But whatever, they rock it out. Most of them have good bodies, so do your thing.
Yeah, right.
We will be back next week for the second episode. So if you enjoyed it, let us know your thoughts, and maybe we'll talk about you on the show. All right, bye guys. Thanks. Have a good night.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.